What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to talk about and be the owner of some real deal silver. In today's video, I want to talk about something that I just recently started to call showing the world the silver way. I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about how I was first introduced to the silver stacking concept over 7 years ago, and something that I've been noticing more and more as of lately, solely based off the comments that I've been receiving on my videos every single day. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos, subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos, and follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. 4 super quick things as we fully dive into the video. Number 1, if you haven't already, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, make sure to try yourself some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to be, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so. And they make it really simple for a new investor to start investing because of how easy it is to learn about the market and navigate on their app. Webull link in the description. 4th and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, airtight tubes and capsules, anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, currency sleeves, microscopes, the list goes on. Any and all stacking supplies, and any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about showing the world the silver way. Something that I've been noticing more and more of lately. Something that I've been noticing for several years at this point, but even more so these last couple of weeks or the last month or so. But before I even talk about what I've been noticing about the silver stacking world, I want to talk about how I was first introduced to the silver stacking world. Now, many of you know this because I talk about it quite a bit, but I first started stacking, got my very first piece of silver at the very end of 2017. What many of you may not know is that for some weird reason, which I don't even have an answer for this, I was actually introduced to silver probably about a year, maybe year and a half before I actually got my very first piece of silver. See, I picked up my very first piece of silver the tail end of 2017, but it was actually introduced to me probably 2016, potentially even the end of 2015. A friend of mine, childhood friend of mine, grew up with the guy. His name was Steven. Went to the same elementary school together, went to the same middle school together, and then when we were getting ready to go to high school, he and his family actually moved out of state. So, bit of a disconnect there for several years, and then after high school, we actually reconnected either, I don't know, Facebook or Instagram or something like that. Reached out to him, or he reached out to me, talked a little bit, seeing what was going on, what he was up to, what I'd been up to. And I was letting him know that, like, hey, by the way, if you're ever in New Jersey, whether you move back or you come back to visit friends or family or whatever, let us know, because me and a whole big group of people that we went to school with have a little bit of like a landscaping business going on. So, come on out and see what we have going on. He let me know that he doesn't really have an interesting way of making money outside of his job, not like a landscaping business with a bunch of friends. He didn't have necessarily an interesting way of making money, but he did have a fairly unique way of saving money. And this is when he first started talking to me about silver coins, rounds, and bars. And he let me know that every single week on payday, he takes some cash to the local coin shop and he gets himself 2 silver coins. 2 ounces of silver every week. It's just what he did. And he was explaining to me, the concept of hedging against inflation and wealth preservation and banking on your own terms and all of that. And at the time, I was thinking to myself, okay, Makes absolutely no sense, but all right. Glad you're doing that, Stephen. But even though I didn't understand, I knew for a fact that it was interesting. Like it got my attention. I was like, you know what? I don't know what it is, but something about that is cool. Something about that is interesting. Something about that has got my attention. Didn't really think anything of it. I was just like, wow, I never thought about that before. I didn't know people did that. Didn't know this was even a thing. And that was kind of the end of that. It was just a really interesting conversation, and then I just kind of ended up moving on with my life. And I don't remember. I've thought about it long and hard. I do not recall what jogged my memory of that conversation that he and I had. But about a year and a half later, something was said or something was seen, and it reminded me of that conversation. I was like, you know what? Let me, I forgot all about that. Let me look into what he was talking about that one day. And I did a little bit of research. I went and I read some articles. I went and I watched some videos. I went and I looked at some graphs. I looked at some charts. I looked at the numbers. I looked at the trajectory. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm in. Took me about a year and a half after the entire idea was pitched to me, but I'm in. And I very quickly went to my local coin shop and I got my very first silver round. I was so clueless at the time, I was running around calling it a coin. Didn't know the difference between a round and a coin. Didn't know there was a difference. Didn't know that they were not synonymous. But that's how I first got started. And I got started stacking silver for what I like to refer to as the right reason. I didn't dive into silver or gold thinking that it was a get-rich-quick scheme. I knew from the very beginning that that's not what this is. I know that this is not necessarily a way of building or creating wealth. Business, stocks, and real estate are how you create wealth. Silver, and especially gold, are ways of preserving wealth. Preserving the wealth that you already built. So I knew on day one, I knew before day one, I knew on day zero that this was just a different, more unique, and most likely more intelligent way of saving money. And not only that, it was fun. You know, for the first time in a while, I stumbled upon something new that was actually interesting and exciting, and it got me hooked. And I was like, man, I can't even remember the last time I was like this excited about like discovering something. And I very quickly learned that, you know, just by getting older coins, you know, I have like, you know, 1883, you know, Morgan dollars and whatnot. And just by having an 1883 coin, you can go and research what took place in 1883. You can learn so much about history. Who was the president? What was going on? What wars were going on? What was the price of this? You know, what type of, you know, inventions came out that year? What type of theories came out that year? You know, what books, what movies came out that year? Like, you can learn so much about history through coins. And don't even get me started with international coins, which you can learn a whole lot about different cultures, and you can learn all about the entire world just from coins from all over the place. So it was just an interesting hobby of mine that I knew could also be a way of saving money in more than likely a more intelligent way than cash. And funny enough, like I said, this was the very end of 2017. At the very end of 2017, I was going on 2 years of making videos already. Not a single one was about silver, because like I said, prior to this, I was not stacking silver. I was making videos about other stuff, all different types of stuff. So I already had an established channel where I was making videos every single day for, at that point, just a hair under 2 years. And what was going on in my life that day that I went to the coin shop? Made a whole video about going to the coin shop and getting my very first piece of silver. Made a whole video about it. And guess what? That video did very, very well. Couple days later, I made another video about silver. Couple days after that, I made another video about silver. And sure enough, I had noticed something. I had noticed that my videos were all averaging a certain number of views, but my silver videos would do even better. And this told me two things. Number one, I'm having more fun making silver videos. So that's already a win right there. And 2, the viewers are having more fun watching the silver videos than the other kind of videos, which is a separate win. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start talking about silver all the time. I'm going to learn as much as I can about silver, and I'm going to talk to people about silver because this is something that I'm interested in. It's a new hobby of mine. It's fun. It's fun to do. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to film. It's fun to edit. It's fun to post. It's fun to interact with people who have similar opinions and very, very different opinions regarding the same subject. So it ended up turning into a bit of a silver channel, which later on turned into a general finance channel where I talk about all things finance. But sticking to the silver and the gold, I remember that in my first year, I was welcomed with open arms. Tight-knit community. You would think that, such a tight-knit, somewhat kind of sort of, I guess you can say, underground community might be a little bit standoffish. No, I was welcomed with open arms. And the more I learned, the more I had to talk about, the more information I can relay and share. I would get different coins, sometimes different rounds, different bars, different medals even from time to time. I'd make videos about them. And sure enough, I realized 2 things. Number 1, the more we talk about it, the more we're learning about it. That's something that I figured out early on. If you're not talking about it, you're not learning. So the more videos I would post, the more I would learn, because a lot of the time before I hit record, I do a little bit of research on a particular subject so I can familiarize myself with something. So boom, I learned something right there, and then I can share the information with people, and I would assume a decent portion of them learn something or are able to take something from the video. That's one thing that I realized. The other thing that I realized was that I started receiving letters in the mail. I have a P.O. box. I set myself up a P.O. box. That way people could send me letters. I got a lot of people leaving comments on my videos back then being like, hey, open up a P.O. box. I want to send you a coin. Open up a P.O. box. I want to send you a letter. So I opened up a P.O. box. Sure enough, that thing would get packed almost every single day. I was stopping by the post office almost every single day, and almost every single day, it was packed. And oftentimes, there were these little yellow cards stuck in the P.O. box saying that I received something that was too big to fit in the P.O. box, so come to the desk to get it. Like, I was getting so many things sent to me. And you want to know the best thing that was sent to me? And it's something that I had received from many people. Letters saying that their 4-year-old is into coins, their 9-year-old is into coins, their 11-year-old is into coins, and rather than turning on the TV and watching a movie together, these people sit down at their computer and they watch my videos together. So I was like, wow, in a weird way, in a crazy way, I'm giving families a reason to connect. In a weird, crazy way, I'm bringing families together. Maybe without the videos, that guy and his son would be in separate rooms right now doing their own separate thing. But because this video exists, they're together and they have something to bond over, and they have something, they share a common interest. That was cool to me. And it wasn't just one person, it was several people. People told me that, they watch my videos, their wife is, doing whatever she's doing in the background, she's listening, and I say something ridiculous in my video, she's laughing in the background. I've gotten so many comments, so many letters in the mail about things like this. I thought that was awesome. I was like, man, gotta keep these videos rocking and rolling. I'm keeping families together. I'm bringing families closer. I thought that was awesome. And this is something that I had noticed throughout the last 7 years of stacking. And something that I noticed even more as of lately, ever since I made my 2025 comeback. I've gotten a lot of comments from a lot of different people. I've posted a video every single day so far this year since the end of February. think it was February 26th, 27th, 28th, something like that. Last week of February, made my comeback. And I posted a video every single day since. And I've gotten a lot of comments this year so far from a lot of people informing me that they first started watching my channel, a couple months ago, couple years ago, and my videos are the reason that they got started stacking in the first place. And this has come from a lot of people. Like, if I had to put like a rough estimate on it, I've probably gotten comments from 100 different people telling me this, that they started stacking because of my videos. And keep in mind, those are just the people who told me that my videos are what got them stacking. God only knows how many people actually got started stacking because of my videos, but roughly 100 people have told me specifically. Which is funny, because not one time in 7 years have I instructed anybody to go and purchase silver. I've never once said, go get silver, go buy silver, go stack silver. No, I've only shared my experience of stacking silver over the last 7 years. Hey, here's a new coin I got. Here's an unboxing video of a 10-ounce silver bar. Or, hey, I learned this about that. Or, hey, what's the difference between this and this? 3 nines fine versus 4 nines fine. Pure silver versus junk silver. Silver versus gold. The gold to silver ratio. I talk about all these different things. Never once pushed anybody to go and get silver. I've only told people that I'm getting silver. Not one time have I attempted to sell somebody on silver. Never once attempted to, quote unquote, pump silver. Why would I want that? If anything, I'd rather silver go down so I can get even more at a cheaper price. But I thought that this was interesting. And I've noticed it quite a bit this year so far. And I've gotten that comment several times in the past. But I've gotten it even more as of lately. People letting me know, hey, thanks for the videos. I started stacking because of you. Things like that. And it made me realize I'm showing the world the silver way. And it's not just me, obviously. And it's not just the people who are posting videos about it all the time. It's anybody that's stacking silver that introduces the silver stacking concept to a friend or a family member. Now, I know generally it's not, a great idea to, walk around broadcasting to everybody that that you're stacking silver and gold. I understand that. But if there's somebody in your life that you truly believe would be interested in this, and not only that, would benefit from this, you're probably going to want to share the idea with them. And odds are you probably already have. And I don't know, maybe there's a 50-50 chance on, whether they jumped on board or not. Don't know. But by introducing the silver stacking concept with people that, I don't mean to sound pretentious here. The people that are worthy of knowing about the silver stacking concept. We're showing them the silver way. We're not going up to them being like, oh, the sky is falling, doomsday's about to be here, the dollar is going to zero, everything's going to zero, we're all going to be living like cavemen, hunting in the woods and, running around like Rambo and the only thing is silver. Like, no, we're not doing that. Some of us are. Those are the people that I try to distance myself from because I don't really, I want no part of that way of thinking. But we're introducing it to people the right way. Hey, I figured out a fun way of saving money, potentially a better way, smarter way, safer way of saving money and banking on my own terms, while also continuing to incorporate a little bit of cash as well, because you need to have some cash reserves. You can't be your own bank without a little bit of cash. You need to have some cash. But we're introducing it to people. Hey, inflation's a real thing. This is something that stands a pretty good chance of hedging against inflation. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's more of a fight back against inflation scheme. And not only that, but it's fun. It's cool. there are these beautiful, gorgeous coins, rounds, and bars with all of these like unbelievable, stunning designs from all over the place, from all parts of history, hundreds of years ago. Coins from all these different countries, all over the planet. You can learn so much about history. You can learn so much about different cultures and different parts of the world. And it's fun. And it's potentially the only hobby that saves you money. See, most other hobbies cost you money. And if you spend money on a hobby, there's nothing wrong with that. If there's something that you're interested in, something that you're passionate about, something that like you truly like, whether it's cars, whether it's painting, whether it's this, whether it's that, if you spend money on your hobby, that's fine. Our way of spending money on our hobby is like inadvertently saving money at the same time. Yeah, we're trading some cash for coins, but the coins are what saves us the cash and stores the value and hedges against inflation. See, if I put $100 into silver right now, fast forward a couple of years, what if I just hung on to that $100? Would that $100 be able to get me $100 worth of stuff? Comparing, today's prices versus prices at that year? Probably not. But what can silver do? It could, in theory, move sideways. It could dip down a little bit. It could move in an upward direction. It can really go three different ways. It has an overall upward trajectory. So, long term, it's far more likely to go up than it is to go down or move sideways. But either way, take a look at the dollar. It's guaranteed to go down. The dollar does not move sideways. The dollar will never move sideways. And it will never, ever move up. It will only move down. So why not convert it into something that stands a far better chance of moving in an upward direction than something that's guaranteed to move in a downward direction? So when we teach people this perspective, when we teach people this angle and show them in this way and shine a light on it in a way that they probably haven't had a light shown on it before, we're showing the world the silver way, which is what I like to call it. And man, it's been fun. It's been a really fun 7 years. And I'm really glad that in 2025, that spark is coming back for a lot of people. Because we did hit a little bit of a lull for a while. We did hit a very boring, bland point where not a whole lot was going on. And I feel like too many of the wrong type of people tried to get in on silver, the people that actually wanted to treat it as a get-rich-quick scheme. And there were too many people thinking that way in this little world that we have, and it just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like those people are out now, and the ones that are left are the ones that are in it for the right reason. And the people that actually enjoy stacking silver and actually like the coins, the rounds, and bars. Not just looking for, a cheap way to get rich, if that makes sense. But anyway, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. What are your thoughts on showing the world the silver way? Do you see it the same way I do? Do you see it in a very different way? Either way, head on down to the comments and let me know. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for bonus videos. Follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. And of course, 4 super quick things as we wrap up the video. Number 1, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to get started, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so. And they make it really easy for a new investor to start investing because of how simple it is to navigate on the app and learn about the market. And I do plan on taking 3 people this month in May of 2025. I want to help 3 people learn about the market and help them and guide them through kickstarting their very own investment portfolio. So if you want to be one of those 3, please reach out, and the Webull link will be in the description. Fourth and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, whether it be airtight tubes and capsules, whether it be anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, currency sleeves, microscopes, the list goes on, any and all stacking supplies and any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know one more time. What are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? Who introduced you to the silver stacking concept? What got you into stacking silver and gold, coins, rounds, and bars? What got you involved? What keeps you involved? And what are your thoughts on showing the world the silver way? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.